All right, welcome to the Minnesota State Fair button voting system. This is our Fanuc robot that will take votes at the Minnesota State Fair. What I'm going to do is just give you a quick demo on how to set up this robot. Underneath the robot, on the control panel here, there should be a set of instructions. And if you're unsure what to do, open up these instructions. If you ever needed to call myself or Joey White for technical support, please feel free to give us a call. But primarily, the first group each day at 9 a.m. is going to have to go through what's called the robot startup procedure. And what that involves is ensuring both of the emergency stops are disabled by twisting them. So you'll give it a little twist. Okay? If they were engaged, you'll see they would actually press in, and twisting them will pop them out. Those should never be actuated unless there was an emergency or someone bumped into one or something like that. The next thing I will do is we'll place the power switch to on. So I'm at the base of the robot again in the front here. I'm going to turn this power switch on. You'll hear the robot start to boot up. You'll see some activity on the teach pendant screen. That's all normal. Then we're going to make sure that the teach pendant is disabled by turning the selector switch to off. Again, this should be off as well. I can see the off label on that teach pendant selector switch. We're not going to be programming the robot, so there's no need to mess with that teach pendant selector switch. But if for some reason some little kid or somebody bumps into it or something like that, it's good to know that that needs to be turned off. Then we have to go and look at this key switch and make sure that this is an automatic mode. This allows the robot to run the code automatically. It's not waiting for somebody to interact with the teach pendant to run the code. And then after ensuring all the above components are in their proper position, we're going to hit the cycle start. There's a little clear cover on this that you have to flip up, and then you press the cycle start and it's going to turn green. Once you do that, the robot is essentially ready to run. At this point, I should be able to walk up and hit cheese curd. So go grab a cheese curd button and drop it in. Another cheese curd button. If I hit French fry, it should hit French fry. And so on and so forth. The first group of the day is going to have to zero out today's count before they get going. What that means is on the back of the robot, there's a couple of things that are important. First of all, there's a power strip here. There's no need to shut this power strip off, but if for some reason you lost power, it might be that this power strip is disabled. Or it could also be, again, that it became unplugged or something like that. The other thing down here is the daily reset button. The daily reset button, when I press this, what's actually going to happen is it's going to reset today's count out. So we have two counts up on top of the robot. Today's count, which would be between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., however many buttons of each style are dispensed, and then we'll have the total count, which will only be set one time at the beginning of the fair, and then we'll get an accumulative total for the entire fair. So these numbers will get really big. These numbers will reset every day. The last thing I want to show you, that's probably the most important thing, is when you put the buttons into the slides over here, you want to make sure that this pin is facing down. So this pin should be facing downward direction. So you'll see the pointy end of that pin there. Pointy end of that pin needs to be facing down. So as I drop those in, the pointy end of the pin needs to be facing down. Also pay attention to which one you're putting in. I'm putting French fries in the French fry slot, and I'm putting cheese curds, again with the pin facing down in the cheese curd slot, like so on and so forth. Okay? At that point, I can go ahead and hit start, and this thing's going to go ahead and grab those buttons and dispense them. So that gives you just your really quick tutorial on how the robot works. If for some reason you get an error or something, button loading procedures in here. There's also a fault indication if you get a fault, way to clear the faults, so on and so forth. Robot shutdown procedure at the end of the day. And again, if there's any technical support you need, do not hesitate to reach out to myself or Joey White for any help you need at the end of the day. So that's it, and I wish you guys the best of luck, and let's see what we can get for cheese curds versus French fries.